So when it comes to sort of your perspective on life and your experiences, don't back up any further than you have to. Take the positive lessons that you can take from things and keep your eyes forward and keep moving forward. I like that. If serving is beneath you, leadership is beyond you. So if you can't get around the idea of, hey, I'm here to serve, and if that means being the last one to leave because there's still some garbage on the floor, then that's what I'm going to do.
It's okay. It's because like when you're at school and it's like the teacher asks you a question and like no one wants to answer, and they're like, who's going to answer it?
Yes.
At CSLC, everyone would answer the questions. At CSLC,
Yes.
everyone would dance, everyone
Yes.
would clap, everyone
That's
had this
huge.
like spirit in them, and when everyone around you has that, you also have that.
Well, thank you.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Sunny Side Podcast. My name is Yevheniia, and today we are interviewing the one and only Jeff Gerber.
Woo! Excited to be here.
Welcome to the podcast, Jeff.
Thanks, Julia. Thanks, Yev, for the introduction, and thanks, Izzy, for our technical support.
Yes, Izzy's behind the camera and the microphone, getting all the good stuff ready. Okay, let's start things off. What is the best piece of advice you have ever received?
Great question, Julia. And one I always sort of struggle with a little bit. When we were watching an American Idol a lot, sort of back during the days when we couldn't leave the house, there's always that point, right, where the person is, oh, my dad always told me this, my mom always told me this. And I think the best I sort of settled in on, one of my dad's pieces of advice, and he taught us all this when we were learning how to drive, my dad was a truck driver, was don't back up any further than you have to. So it was sort of a practical, like, hey, if you just keep going back further than you need to, you might run into somebody. So as soon as you can go forward, go forward. And I thought, you know what, that's actually not bad life advice. Because sometimes we can find ourselves just like looking in the rearview mirror or thinking about things that happened and what we could have done differently or all those kinds of things. So when it comes to sort of your perspective on life and your experiences, don't back up any further than you have to. Take the positive lessons that you can take from things and keep your eyes forward and keep moving forward. I like that.
That's great. Our next question is, what made you want to go into public speaking?
Yeah, thank you so much. Another great question. My background is in education, so I was involved in student leadership, so I love all the great stuff that you guys do with the podcast and everything else. And as I attended conferences and went to events like this, I just sort of thought, you know what, I think I might have a couple valuable things to contribute if I would have a chance to speak at stuff like that. So I started off doing workshops at provincial conferences just about, hey, this is what our leadership group does, and these are some things you might be able to take away from that. And then I started thinking about, well, what are young people, what are people, because I speak to adults as well, what's something that we really all need? And I just sort of started talking about belonging and how universal that is, and had opportunities to share it more and more, and now it's sort of what I do all the time.
Yeah. Nice. I feel like public speaking is such like a thing where it's like, it feels like you're talking to like me. Like when I'm sitting in the crowd, I feel like you're talking to me.
Well, that's
myself.
why we appreciate hearing
and you
that.
just keep going, and I'm like, how is he like so like clean with what he's saying, you know?
Well, practice
Yeah.
is a big part of it. I think starting out as a teacher, I mean, you're talking to people all the time.
Yeah.
So that's a big part of it. But yeah, no, I really appreciate that, because that's sort of one of the things that we strive for.
Yeah, like I know me personally, public speaking. Oh my goodness.
Well,
but I had to talk about the podcast this morning, yesterday during
Yes.
rehearsal. I was like, I'm going to pass out. And it was just in front of our team. But I got up there today and it worked out
Yeah.
way better than I thought. But
Well,
it was crazy.
Yeah, it's funny when they survey people, like, what are your greatest fears? Like, public speaking sometimes ranks higher than dying. Like,
Yeah.
people would rather, I mean, not to be a little morbid, but I mean, like, a lot of people are just scared of it. And like you said, if you just think about it, I'm just talking to you, right? And there's like 200 of you maybe, or 1,000 of you, but that's just find that one person to talk to. That's a great way to think about it.
So do you have any other advice for people who want to get better at public speaking but really aren't at the moment?
Well, practice is a big part of that. Like Yev said, just imagining yourself talking to one person. The other thing that I need, that I still continue to need to practice and work on, is I tend to talk fast. So I know sometimes when you talk fast, you sort of get ahead of your thoughts, and then you end up with a lot of filler words and all that kind of stuff. So I find if I can slow down, think about what I want to say next, where it's going, I'm less likely to sort of, all right, okay, are you with me, and those kinds of things. So that's another thing that I would maybe recommend, is just trying to breathe while you're doing it and realize that it's going to be okay when I'm done.
That's like something I struggle with, whether I have like a script or just like I'm going off the top of my head. I always have like filler words. Just like even when I'm speaking with you right now, there's like I'm constantly saying like if.
Yeah, I think you're doing pretty good.
But it's just I think it comes with practice, like you said.
Yep.
Alrighty, next question. What is the best lesson you have learned through leadership?
Best lesson I've learned.
Sorry, I didn't give you that question ahead of time.
That's
I thought of it today.
Not in my notes. No worries. I think it's something that I usually talk about in workshops and in keynotes and stuff like that. It's just the idea that it's not about you. That often, we ascribe certain personality traits to leaders, right? Leaders are good with a microphone. Leader can talk to a large group of people. Leaders can, inspire people. And when you think about even an event like you're doing today, there's a few people on the mic, but there's dozens of people that are making posters, that are making name tags, that are organizing the schedule, that are running the icebreakers, that are doing the workshops. Like sometimes those people are overlooked as leaders because they have different personality traits than the person with the microphone. But to me, just the idea that, hey, it's not about you, that everybody has a role to serve. And there's sort of a leadership teacher that I look up to that I've had a chance to get to know. I don't know if it's an original line of his, but he uses it. If serving is beneath you, leadership is beyond you. So if you can't get around the idea of, hey, I'm here to serve, and if that means being the last one to leave because there's still some garbage on the floor, then that's what I'm going to do, rather than, hey, I spoke in front of the audience, now I can go home, kind of thing.
Yeah.
What is your experience with leadership in sports?
Oh, fantastic. Love sports. Had a chance to play a fair number of minor sports growing up, mainly ball and hockey in the small town that I grew up in Ontario. And then at high school, I got to play a number of different sports. Football I really enjoyed. Got to play some university football, which I really liked. I wasn't very good at basketball, but I just played because our school team wasn't very good. A bit of soccer, those kinds of things. And then I also got to coach. So got to coach a lot at school, got to coach football and soccer and softball and hockey as well. My kids played hockey and ball, so I got to coach my kids growing up, hockey and ball, my daughters and my son. So again, I think the biggest leadership lesson in all of that is teamwork. It's just this idea that no one person's gonna win the game or lose the game. You're sort of gonna go out there and do it all together. And I think one of the lessons that I learned was I wasn't always a great player myself or a great tactician. Like when I coached hockey, I was a goalie. Like I couldn't teach them stick handling or how to shoot or anything like that. I had to bring other people in to do the skills, but I always really emphasized making sure that we were all on the same page and that we were all working together as a team. So I think that teamwork, again, no one person's bigger than the team. That's probably the biggest thing I picked up from coaching or playing sports.
I feel like in high school, sports is a really good way to gain leadership skill. So especially because when you go into senior year, you're in grade 10. So the leaders are the people that have more experience. So that'd be the grade 12s and the grade 11s. And then if you go on to the next year, you're going to be the more superior one who's kind of the leader. You have to teach them these skills that they may not know yet. So it's kind of in school you kind of get practice with being a leader through sports and
100%.
other activities like projects and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of a little note on being in grade 12. I'm in grade 12 this year, and I was like, thank you. Made it so far.
Yes.
And it's so weird because I'm looking for the older people, and I'm like, wait, who's my leader? Oh, wait, I am the leader. So it's kind of nerve-wracking and wow, I am the role model for all these other kids. But then it's really nice with the teachers and the EAs, and they're just so great in my school.
Yeah.
And they're the leaders. So it's really nice to have that. Why do you think conferences like this one, specifically ones for youth, are important?
Yeah. Well, first of all, just the opportunities that the people get to run them and lead them, right? I think that's a huge opportunity because you learn so much, again, just from working with other people, organizing details. It's funny how you can be in situations with people who haven't been involved in running events or organizing events, and they just don't really know how to imagine it from when they walk in the door to when they leave, this is sort of what we want it to look like, right? Which I think today has been fantastic. Like the name tags, they're all in their groups. You're not going to have a moment where people aren't sure what to do, right? And I think that's a huge part of organizing things like this and a huge lesson to learn. And it's also great for the people that are attending because they're going to experience a whole bunch of things that they wouldn't have experienced otherwise. They're going to meet a whole bunch of people. I mean, yeah, the people they come with from their school, they probably know well, but they might not. So for some people, that 2-hour bus ride might be the highlight of the day, you know what I mean? Or it might be one of the icebreakers that they learn that they take back to their school, or any one of those things. There's so many different experiences that you have that you don't really know till you get there, the difference it's going to make. So I'm a big believer in, I know when I was doing student leadership, the conferences we went to, specifically our provincial conference, had a huge impact on our group, not just our sense of togetherness, but also the skills and what they learned and what they knew how to do.
And what's your favorite event that you've been able to speak at?
Oh man, favorite event.
Like what kinds of events have you spoken
Yeah,
at?
well, I've spoken at like a number of provincial leadership conferences. I've spoken at the Canadian Student Leadership Conference, done workshops there. I've spoken at a number of conferences and workshops and staff PDs and things in the States. Maybe my favorite, I was blessed to have the opportunity, the Texas Association of Students' Councils runs 2 leadership weekends. They call them advanced workshops. And there's about 300 kids at each weekend. And I had a chance to be there. They call it, I don't even remember what my title was. I was the workshop advisor or whatever for 2 weekends. So basically it meant the student leaders like yourselves, they had a group of student leaders that organized each weekend. So that was just a bunch of Zoom calls, probably 5 or 6 Zoom calls over a period of a month or 2, with them just sort of organizing what the weekend was going to look like. And then at the weekend, then I was the keynote speaker. So I had 4 different like keynote sessions, plus a workshop and some stuff with advisors. And just seeing how different people do leadership sort of across North America is a lot of fun. And what I realized is that the Texas kids have a lot of spirit and a lot of dances. Like every choreographed line dance that you could imagine, which is a lot of, that's similar to the Western culture here too, because I know you guys all love to dance and line dance and all that kind of stuff too. But yeah, so I was just struck by just the different ways that people are and the different way they organize things. And so that opportunity was sort of cool just because it was totally different than what, the kinds of things I might do, in other parts of North America, I guess. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, thanks.
I think this might be our last question.
Okay.
But what was your CSLC experience like? Would you recommend it to any other students or advisors like
Yes,
you?
yes to both. I didn't get to CSLC when I was a student. It had just started when I was a student, but I don't know if our school was maybe late to pick it up or whatever. I'm not sure when our school first started going, but I first went as an advisor early on when I started as an advisor, and it was transformative. Our district was lucky. Where I was from in Ontario, we have 16 high schools in our board. Like our boards are really big, and all 16 advisors took kids to CSLC. So for us, it was as much a chance to get to know each other and just to network and learn what we do at each of our schools, plus the people all across Canada. And I've probably now been to probably 15. It might be. Yeah, probably 15 CSLCs, and every one. I mean, the keynote speakers are fantastic. The workshops are great for advisors. There's time spent with other advisors. For the students, just the opportunity. You're staying in a hotel with other people. You're staying at camp right now with other people. Like, there's just so many opportunities to meet people from across the country and to make those friendships. There's no. Yeah, it's all good. Advisors, students, if you have a chance to go. Have either one of you had a chance to? Sorry, I should probably know that, but yeah, you both went last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It was so fun. I thought it was like, because I've been on like this for 2 years now.
Yes.
And it's like, in my head, I think that students that come here should all like know where they go, like what they do, because I get told like, oh, so this is like, this session is gonna be in this room,
right.
This session is gonna be in this room. But then like getting to experience like a conference like myself, like having to go to one and be like, oh, like where do I go? Like that was kind of eye-opening, because then I'm like really trying to like think from other people's perspective now, like, okay, so like how clear are the instructions? Like, are they gonna know what room to go into?
Yeah, that's excellent.
It was really eye-opening just to get to experience that, and especially since I'm still like new to it.
Yeah.
It's gonna like really make me think later on.
Yeah. And Julia, you same thing.
I loved CSLC. It was so fun. I met so many people, and honestly, the first couple days I was so scared.
I'm sure.
I remember it was like the night of the dance, and I was like sitting on my bed, and I was so sad, and I was like, I don't want to go because I don't know anyone. And then I was like, wait, I don't want to go because I don't know anyone. I'm going to go meet people. So then I went,
Yeah.
and I had so much fun, and it was so good. And the keynote speakers were amazing. I really liked Ian Tyson.
Yeah, good,
He's
excellent. Yeah, Ian's
really
another.
good.
He doesn't live far from me in Ontario. Yeah,
Oh, that's
great
so
guy.
cool. Yeah. great to
Small
see.
joke. We worked together at CSLC 2023 in St. John's.
Oh, yeah.
We sort of spoke in similar spaces, and he worked with the MCs, and I worked with the spirit leaders a bit. And kids would actually confuse us, just because we're both bald. Good looking, of course. But so so an MC would come up to me and say, "Hey, what for what's happening this evening? Like, I didn't get the MC notes for tonight." And I go, "Yeah, Ian's over there." Or a spirit leader would go to Ian and say, "Hey, for this cheer, what are we doing?" And they'd say, "Yeah, Jeff's over there." So Ian and I joke about that all the time. I always joke. Ian's now wearing these like black, thicker glasses now, so I always joke that I need to get black glasses and just confuse people even more. But yeah, the keynotes are great. And now, is there anyone like that you met at CSLC that you're still in touch with? Or mainly just the people that you sort of maybe went with that you know better?
Yeah, so we went like with the division, and now I'm closer with the people who I went with. Like, I didn't really know Yev before, and I was like,
fun. Yeah, because you guys are from different schools.
Well,
yeah.
That's amazing.
We've been with each other for 2 years on this is our second year being together, but it was like the CSLC experience made us kind of get like a lot closer. Like,
awesome.
My brother, he also went.
Oh.
But he was never on the team,
Right.
which I feel like that gave him an advantage for this year. So like, he got to like kind of like get closer with the leaders that
he was going to be with you eventually. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Another thing I was going to mention is like this was similar to like what you were talking about when you were presenting today, but like when I felt like I belonged when I was at CSLC, and it wasn't just because like it's because like when you're at school and it's like the teacher asks you a question and like no one wants to answer and they're like, who's going to answer it?
Yes.
At CSLC, everyone would answer the questions. At CSLC,
Yes.
everyone would dance, everyone
Yes.
would clap, everyone
That's
had this
huge.
like spirit in them, and when everyone around you has that, you also have that.
Well, thank you for mentioning that, because to me that's another important, like when you're running things like this, like setting the tone, giving people permission that, hey, it's okay to be like that here. Because I think deep down, like you said, people want to, but they're looking around like, well, I'm not going to be the first one, right? I don't know if you've seen that video of the first follower, like this crazy guy dancing on a hill, right? And he's like dancing for 3 minutes by himself, and then finally one other person dances with him, and then 3 other people dance with him, and pretty soon like all 1,000 people in the hill are dancing with this guy. But it took actually other people to follow. And like you said, at CSLC, you just get permission. And I think that's another thing people take back from a leadership conference is how do we set that tone in our school where people know, hey, it's okay to cheer, right? It's okay to have a good time. People aren't going to be, oh, there's a tryhard over there trying to dance and nobody else is dancing, right?
Exactly. Even now, like when you are at this conference, it's like I try to be as like, I guess, kind of loud as possible so that others can feel like welcome. Even in class, when the teacher asks a question, I want to be the person who shows like, oh, you could ask questions, you could answer questions, you could like be loud, you could ask, because I want others to like feel like comfortable. Even though they know each other, it's still like kind of quiet. That's what I noticed.
Yeah, cool. Love it. That's good.
Well, thank you so much, Jeff, for being on the podcast. It was so exciting to have you here today, and I can't wait to hear your breakout session this afternoon.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. You guys are great.
Yeah. To all the listeners, stay on the sunny side.